Here's how I'm gonna cut down my mostly native garden for winter. I'm gonna take in a quick tour of what it looks like now, and then I'll show you how I cut it down and kind of prepare it for the winter. You can see most of the plants have lost their leaves. It's in November here in central Pennsylvania, so there's a little bit of green, but really the frost has come and really taken care of most everything. You see my milkweed patch is looking pretty tatty. This is the one non-native, and I plan to cut it down significantly. I'll show you how much I'm going to cut it down, and more of my plants. A few milkweed pods. Now, I will say if you had wanted to harvest those, you definitely should have done that earlier, or you could do a few now. But I've harvested most of the items, so I'll show you what I'm going to hit first. This is the first area I'm going to work on, and what I've done so far is just a little light weeding. I don't really get crazy with it because, again, being slightly older, I don't want to wear myself out too badly, but I get the really obvious weeds out of the area, and what I use to do that, I either use my hoe right there, or I use this tool here, which I actually quite like. It's essentially a weed picker. You just put it down in it's hard to do this one-handed. You put this open like that. You put it right there, and you just twist, and it usually will get it right up by the root. And this particular weed has a pretty long tap root. The next thing I'm going to do after I've done some light weeding, nothing crazy. This is a spice bush and a fringe tree. I'm not going to prune those at all. They look pretty good. I leave the leaves because I think it's helpful for some of the overwintering insects. Are these black-eyed Susans. Now these I planted this year. They're native. And what I'm going to do is, essentially, I'm going to cut them down till about 2 inches below the ground. But before I do that, I'm going to take some of these seed heads and sprinkle some of the seeds. Let me get my gardening glove on here. I'm going to take some of these seed heads here, you can see, and the seeds are often in here. And I'm just going to kind of take it and kind of crush and sprinkle it. This is some more seeds fall. I want the black-eyed Susans to kind of promulgate this whole area here, and then I'd also like them to come back to this corner. So I'm going to clear out some of this wild strawberry. I'm going to cut these down and sprinkle some of the seeds over here. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. And here's what it looks like after. I just cleaned it up a little bit. I cut it all down over here. I took out what was growing there, and I sprinkled lots and lots of Rudbeckia seeds in the hopes that they'll take. You can see them all over here. And the last thing I did is I transplanted Rudbeckia from another part of my garden. I just dug a hole, threw it in there. We'll see how it does. I can show you where I removed it from, but I'm pretty low-key when it comes to transplanting plants. They're natives. They tend to do well no matter where they are. The soil I have here is really terrible. So again, there's part 1 of my kind of native preparation for gardening. Thanks for watching.